and Vegeta are under attack, pressured from the likes of the demonic Janemba, who's even more powerful than Boo. The demonic being is accompanied by Frieza and Cell, the Saiyans on our own defense and lack the energy to transform. This all takes place within the Tournament of Time, a battle royale put together by a mysterious force. One theme that is unique in this tournament will be divergence, as we'll see iconic moments under different contexts as well as brand new battle. For the case of Goku and Vegeta, this tournament delays the objective of beating Boo, and now have to find a way to get back on their Earth after fighting all three villains. As for the villains themselves, we're in a stage of the tournament where they start getting up on heroes for revenge, power, or the requirement of the Super Dragon Balls, which is what anyone obtains, allegedly, if they win the tournament. Here are the bios.
Just kill you all!
You're ready.
Getting back to the fight, Cell compliments the tournament's convenience of accomplishing the revenge. Frieza agrees. Then adds that this tournament made him stronger in the process, strong enough to beat a base Blue Sucker Goku who was leagues above the Frieza of his time. But Vegeta disagrees, as they were losers, enemies of the past. In response, Cell and Frieza mentioned the humiliating beatdown on the Vegeta of their era, angering Vegeta so much that he threw a blast at all three of them, despite Goku's warning. This blast wasn't effective, but answered with Janemba's Wakaza Slash and a couple of hits from Frieza. Unfortunately, it seems like the beginning of an unwinnable battle, with the iconic villains increasing their power, and Janemba lost at the Saints after that. Now, I want to get back to that fit of anger from Vegeta. That reaction was due to what Frieza and Cell are to the principal Saiyans, villains of the past, both characters being signs of his past flawed character. Vegeta now has changed, matured, and has learned from his mistakes. So in a way, this battle serves as a test to see if his character truly has changed. We know that's the case with how he acts, but what about the people in which his past character led him to defeat? The people that he moved on from? If he canceled that challenge and hasn't learned anything as a warrior, what's the point of trying to match Goku? Trying, by the way. If he can't beat foes that Goku's lineage defeated in the past. Sure, Frieza Cell stronger, physically, but mentally, as they have not changed, but Vegeta did. So how humiliating would be for his character to fail against the likes of them? It was also, of course, to shut them up. Going into this battle, this is an example of the Tournament of Time being a sort of hard mode of anything from the original timeline of Dragon Ball Z. Instead of fighting the Gohan-absorbed Majin Buu, they fight Janemba, who's stronger, as well as a tough Frieza and Cell. So they got demolished, to the point where Janemba sends and crashes into the Arc below. After they get up, Vegeta complains that he would have had a chance to win if he fought Buu, which reminded Goku of the Potala earrings. Got the items from the Supreme Kai that creates a new warrior from people. The prince vehemently refuses. Shortly after, Janemba comes back and Vegeta reaches his agreement, while shooting a blast at the demonic warrior. But Akita dodges with the Phantom Shift ability. He then hits Vegeta, which bases Goku obviously powers up. If Frieza himself off and stop Goku, he hits you attack. Janemba then uses his lightning shower rain on the Saiyans and sends them flying to a wasteland. He then chases them yet again. On the side of Frieza and Cell, Frieza is a little annoyed to jump through locations, though Cell doesn't see a problem with it as there's no effort in doing it. Furthermore, Frieza criticizes Janemba's beast of nature and personality by comparing it to a predator chasing his prey, but Cell doesn't see an issue as long as he can beat Goku and Vegeta. onto the wasteland, Goku and Vegeta get back up after Janemba sent them packing. Goku then said that they're done for if that continues. So he tries to convince Vegeta again to fuse with him, but the Prince once again disagrees because of what happened back on their era when Vegeta, under Babdi's control, fought Goku in his Super Saiyan 2 form. You can waste about how Goku didn't use Super Saiyan 3 at that time. And as Goku was about to explain, Vegeta interrupts to firmly state that he'll never fuse with Goku, choosing death instead. But Goku finds it ironic because Vegeta already died. Though what changed Vegeta's mind is when Goku mentioned of how Bulma and Trunks' death will be useless on their Earth if he doesn't fuse with him. Also, just as a side tangent, Goku did say that Super Saiyan 3 wouldn't be useful against all three enemies. I want to focus on how this moment shows the determinant of time as unchanged iconic moments under different contexts. As such, we have interactions with specific versions of characters, as Vegeta is criticizing this version of Goku because of what he did in his era. If it was another version of Goku that is far removed from these events, then he wouldn't hold that argument against him. Thus, this makes the tournament much more fascinating. How does this link to the plot? Well, it's that unlike the Buu Saga where they eventually find the time to fuse, the enemies they're fighting are more aggressive. Let the terror begin! But they've already arrived on the wasteland. As Frieza and Cell are chatting about how the battle isn't ending, Vegeta interrupts by insulting them out of rage. At this moment, it felt like Vegeta's past was constantly haunting him, chasing him in order to repeat what happened back then, but far worse. That's why Vegeta insulted. That's why he was so mad. Frieza and Cell are the perfect people to piss him off, people he met when his family wasn't on his side of the fight. Although it seemed more like an anti-insult, Janemba shatters as his weakness are insults. This of course surprises everyone, and Vegeta takes the opportunity to kick Frieza and Cell to grab the power A-Ring. But Janemba quickly uses his Phantom Shift to remove the shattered parts. But as Janemba was about to beat the heck out of the Saiyans, he gets flawed by two mysterious warriors who surely make their presence known. Another Goku and Vegeta from Dragon Ball Super Broly. Of course, they were both surprised to see themselves, with the Super characters never expecting to see them, and the Z characters now being able to sense their ki, sensing an overwhelming presence instead. See, Vegeta even states that the power is beyond anything he's ever seen. Super Vegeta, not this Super Vegeta, then hurries the Z characters to fuse, or he'll be the enemy standing in front of them, angering his Z counterpart by insulting him and adding on the claim that he doesn't need his help. Both Z Saiyans manage also to fuse. Super Vegeta then says that both Z characters are more powerful than their worth, which comes a little weird to Super Goku since he's talking about their past selves. Though his rival tells him to shut up as he's already aware of that. Coming back to the moment, we can see a clear juxtaposition between both Goku's and Vegeta's. The ones from Z are reasonably stressed, whilst the ones in Super are way more chill in their language, attitude, and power. For the Vegetas, the contrast in their attitude and anger management is even more obvious. They focus on Super Goku and Vegeta's progress in Gaki training and Whis' teachings. The latter can be seen with the Vegetas as the Super one clearly learned his lesson from the resurrection of F. Back to the Z-Boys. Vegeta finally asks Goku to give him triple power with the Saiyans summarizing their plan after fusing. Bait Cell, Frieza and Janemba, then Buu in their era. Goku gives the earring to his rival, and then...
Yes! Alright! It's my turn!
Vegeta is bored. Outside of it being powerful, this serves as a conclusion to Vegeta's small internal conflict. Instead of repeating past mistakes stubbornly and egotistically, you may not understand what I mean, but a lot of Vegeta's losses is due to the Saiyans' ego, stubbornness, and generally fighting alone. But now he overly accepts help from others in a more united manner through fusion to be Janemba, Frieza, and Cell. So instead of falling into the game and focusing to beat them himself, being obsessed by them, he demonstrates what he treats them as: losers. by not treating them as main villains. So as characters he needs to beat. He has moved on from them and has bigger forces to fight. Upon seeing Vegito, Frieza is shocked. But Cell, who was curious about what Goku and Vegeta were planning, isn't worried about their strength, even if they got stronger. As a response, Vegeta is showcasing a portion of his power. It's flabbergasted the villains. Vegeta then beats them back, but the villains don't give up as they blast full power to the Super Warrior. Initially, they thought that blast did it, but Vegeta comes out of it unscathed, much to the villains' shock and Vegeta's snark. He then attacks Frieza, then Cell, before the Saiyan obliterates him.
Catch me!
He then goes to Janemba, commenting about how he warmed up after killing Frieza and Cell, fueling Janemba's fear. The Vegeta wouldn't kill him and instead use him as a workout. But as the fight continues, a mysterious portal appears where maniacal laughs can be heard. At that moment, Vegeta goes dead silent. The portal disappears, with Zamasu corrupted coming out of it.
Accept your divine punishment!
Zamasu then says that he finally found Vegeta, but the Saiyan doesn't know what he's talking about. The corrupted god then assumes that Vegeta fled, before treating him as more naive than he realized. With his arrival, this solidifies the theme of chaos and catharsis within the Tournament of Time. From fighting Janemba, Frieza, and Cell, we now have a powerful Dragon Ball Super character in the form of Zamasu. This now tips the balance in the favor of evil, as there's now been a huge shift in the plot, and gives an opponent that'll give more than a hard time to the likes of Super Vegito. So how does he respond to this? Vegito doesn't know who he is, and Zamasu goes on a whole speech about how his godly status can naturally make mortals forget about him by fear because of the god's divine light being able to throw a mortal's composure out of whack. Vegito's silent. He then elaborates on the anomaly behind the existence of warriors like the Saiyan, and before he would explain how he will fix this great wrong by eliminating him, the Saiyan moved towards Zamasu and kicked him, saying that he let his guard open while nicknaming him Mr. So-Called God. Although it didn't do much to the immortal being. Vegito, despite stating that he doesn't know anything about him, sees that Zamasu wants to fight him, so he invites him to. This pisses him off lightly by shouting that the Super Saiyan is beyond redemption. Thankfully, Super Vegeta and Super Goku shoot a Kamehameha and Gallic Gun. Super Vegeta remarks that the godly being's pretty energetic, so he proposes to fight him and Goku to see if the opposed tournament of power strength compares to that of Zamasu, even asking if the other versions don't mind. Vegeta has no problem with it. The corrupt entity, by seeing multiple Goku and Vegeta, wonders why are they here, and if so, who is the other Saiyan? Yeah, Zamasu is pretty clueless about what's going on. Goku answers to his question by saying that Vegeta is also themselves, and Vegeta kind of envies him, but says that he will not explain what's going on before sending him to the sky. This entire moment serves the purpose of Zamasu's presence, giving an opponent for the Saiyans from Super to fight, as they were responsible for the Z Saiyans fusing. So while Janemba fights Vegito, who completely forgot about them, Zamasu gets up from Vegeta's cheap shots and fights the Super Saiyan Blues to pursue them.
The only way we can beat this guy is by fighting together.
Zamasu, don't underestimate a Saiyan's, a mortal's power.
Similar to her narrative with Buu Saga with Vegeta, this serves as a test to see how much stronger they got from Whis' teachings, since during the time span, Goku and Vegeta mastered Super Saiyan Blue. They also gained near instantaneous ki recovery and have surpassed their max power in the base forms a couple of times over. This doesn't seem like anything deep, but it is, as Dragon Ball Super narrative is less character-driven and focuses more on how various characters can break through their own limits many times over. Back to the fight. Zamasu initially has the upper hand, but the Super Saiyan Blue's power-up led a couple of hits. The former Supreme Kai then felt a continuous rise in power from both God Saiyans. Vegeta tells him that they were in the same as they were in the original timeline, and Goku adds on to that by determining power and is a strong opponents. This of course confused the corrupted god who seemingly he and Goku were the same as the ones from his era, but he quickly understood that he was transported to a different era. Goku surprised that he just figured it out now, and Vegeta mocked him for being unable to correctly assess the situation despite calling himself a god. This would offend Zamasu, but he laughed instead. He would then assess the situation and guess that they wouldn't have a trump card. All of the same gods don't understand what he's getting at, but Grotesque deity would elaborate by questioning if they have the power. With a slight reaction from Vegeta, Zamasu would then conclude they can't fuse, with laughter following suit from him. Goku says if he's sure about that. In response, the deity questions if they have the earrings. No matter the answer, Zamasu announces this as deception to a god, an act he will make sure to regret. So obviously, he won this fight, probably due to Zamasu's immortality and raw power. Coming back to Zamasu's befuddlement, this gives purpose as to why he came out of the portal. In fact, this whole bit was supposed to give a short rundown of the character. He's a god, egocentric, pursues some greater goal, and hates mortals. All in a few minutes, by the way. As for the fight, this fuels Dragon Ball Super's whole narrative of always getting stronger and never slack, as there will always be people stronger than you. People that cannot be overpowered by teamwork at times. Back to Vegito. The Super Saiyan feels the effect that Battle has on the air, complimenting them after, though he knows they're not gonna win this fight. Thanks to Nemba's grunts, the Z Saiyan remembers that he was fighting him, but right now, he wants to stick his nose into someone else's business. Back to the Saiyans from Super. They are under defense of the monster. Laughs, mocks them for not having the power, and launches a powerful blast, which sent the Saiyans a little far away from the battlefield. Things are tense. So Goku thinks of no other choice than to fuse with Vegeta. He first asks if he knows about the fusion dance. Vegeta didn't really know what this word means. He then recalls hearing that word from his son Trunks. The Saiyan Prince quickly guessed what Goku meant with that question and wanted to know if he was serious. Goku confirms, but Vegeta disagrees as he doesn't want to fuse with him. Goku wants to know why. Vegeta explains he doesn't want to perform a ridiculous pose. He adds that even if he agreed, Zamasu would never give them the time to fuse. What makes this moment interesting are the differences in Vegeta's attitude. Though this still is a little bit of selfishness, it's obvious that it is fully based on circumstances. To another incident of Goku and Vegeta's evolution in their character. Funnily enough, right after what Vegeta said, the former princess showed up with some light laughter and confirms that the Saiyans don't have the power through taunts. He then continues by shouting that there will be no more miracles and that they'll feel his wrath instead, as he was about to land the finishing combo. A powerful wave was launched at Zamasu. Though Goku didn't know where that came from, Vegeta guessed exactly who did it, as well as a few years Zamasu. This blast came from none other than Super Vegito, who's now repaid their favor towards the characters from Super. Remember growls and tries to Vegito, but the Super Saiyan countered with a quick punch, telling him to hold on as there's no need to bend out of shape, since they're getting at the best parts. He then says that he's curious to see what the Super characters can do with the fusion dance. Back to the sky, they take that opening to go somewhere in which they can fuse. Goku thinks they're of themselves, and Vegeta reluctantly agrees to fuse with Goku, promising that it will be the last time this happens. Yeah, sure.
Let's get things started.
After performing the dance, Gogeta is born. So the cycle completed itself, as both Goku and Vegeta helped each other to defeat their opponents. Zamasu, who moved towards the fused warrior, shocked, wonders who he is. The not yet named Gogeta responds by calling himself,
I am neither Goku nor Vegeta. I am the one who will defeat you.
with him using the name Gogeta since the warrior down there in the wasteland is Vegito, result of the Battle fusion. The god reacts in shock and the fused Metamorian then goes on the attack. Both fusions serve as a reward from their efforts and mutual help so they can defeat any of their opponents. In a way, it's a unique take on the power of teamwork. Gogeta throws a couple of damaging punches at the Mortal Fusion taunts him and his power. In response, the God Fusion starts a sentence, powers up, and goes on a whole tirade about how wrong it is for mortals to find a way to imitate a power beyond that of a god. Precising that he shouldn't have this issue and would have gone a whole bit about a god's righteousness if it wasn't for Gogeta interrupting him with a punch. Makes sense considering he heard something similar in his own timeline. He then shouts at him to not repeatedly leave himself wide open. Coming back to the wasteland, Vegito compliments his Metamorian counterpart and wants to also have a part in the act, so he'll finish his skirmish with Janemba by starting with a few punches, sending him to the sky. Before finishing him off, he laments on how he stuck for much of both his opponents ever since he landed on the Terminal of Time. Both Janemba and Zamasu get sent at the same area of the sky, so both Gogeta and Vegeta goes to the same area of the wasteland. They then both shoot a combined keyway simultaneously, killing Janemba and sending Zamasu out of here, as Gogeta doesn't rule the possibility of his return. Both fusions interact, with Vegeta feeling a little weird to look at a different version of himself, which Gogeta agrees on, but he doesn't see this as a bad thing. That thought is also shared by a group of warriors, specifically Golden Frieza, who won't waste the opportunity of killing his worst enemies at the same place. He's also accompanied by Cooler on his final form, and another Cell on his perfect form. Vegito's initially confused to see Cell with Frieza again, but he realizes that they're different from the ones earlier. Cell confirms the Super Saiyan's assessment, but Abs have been not alone, because they are actually allied with the likes of Hyper Metal Wildo from Dragon Ball GT, Full Power Bojack, the Monster, Super Saiyan Rosy Goku Black, and Gohan absorbed Majin Buu. This gets both fusions excited, with Gogeta adding that they're ready to take them on. Vegito confirms since they went for a lot of trouble fusing, so the fight's gotta be entertaining. What's cool about this cliffhanger ending is that it shows the final theme of the Tournament of Time. Endless, frenetic battles between powerful realms of characters. In this instance, we have a battle that generates another battle. Both fusions power up to take on the group, and that's how the event ends, so be sure to like and subscribe, as I'll appreciate it. Bye bye.